Hello, Peter Gianoli here, and in this video I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to take you through my morning routine. Now what makes me want to do this is because this morning I completed my 19th Moleskine. Moleskine's my favourite notepad book. It's filled with lined pages and in my case filled with words. So 19 takes me about 3 months to fill up a Moleskine, and so if you divide that by 19, or 3 months into 19, that's about 6 odd years I've been doing this morning routine. And by morning routine, it's a thing called morning pages. Now, if you Google search morning routine, I think you get something like 493 million search results. So it's a pretty common, popular practice. People are concerned about how to get their day going, how to get their life going, how to crank up things. And generally the feeling is if you get your morning routine right, it starts to happen. Now in my case, I've got two things to my morning routine. Number one is a green stuff in a bottle called Vital Green. I mix it with water and I gulp it down. I've been doing that for probably 6, 7, maybe even 10 years. And you know what? I've not had one sick day. I'm not going to say it's all because of the Vital Greens. It's probably got a lot to do with my genetics and the rest of my lifestyle, but certainly there's something I live and die by. But something far more important, far more impactful to my life has been this concept called morning pages. They were introduced to me via my wife. My wife, Darlene, introduced me to a book or a methodology called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. Look, I really have no idea at the time why I was excited by the concept of the artist's way. I suppose, like most of us, deep down, we think we've got this essence of creativity inside of us that we just like to unleash. And we're looking for methodologies and ways and tips and techniques and probably shortcuts, in truth, to do it. Well, if you read Julia Cameron's book and you follow her methodology, she has one key bedrock, and it's this concept called morning pages. And what she says you need to do before you do anything of a morning is to sit yourself down and to unload onto 3 blank pages, a stream of consciousness. Just let it go, just let it write. And lo and behold, I started doing it. And I did it in my favourite Moleskine. So it's a bit of a ceremony. I go and buy a new Moleskine. I love the smell, I love the feel, I love the product, the Moleskine. I also use a Fisher Space pen if you really want to know, and that too is beautiful to write with. So we're talking writing here, just physical writing. I get myself up, I shower, I go to my local coffee shop, wherever I happen to be in the world, ideally, and then I sit myself down, order a short Mac topped up, and I'm not saying that's good for you or bad, feels good for me, and then I start unloading, writing my morning pages. And what is it for me? Well, it's just a stream of consciousness. It lets me have a conversation with myself. It lets me prioritize what's important, what's not important, what's annoying me, what's not annoying me. It just lets me, no rules, no holds bar, go for it. Now look, to be honest with you, some mornings it's a struggle, and I'm actually writing in my journal about what the conversation is that the people up the table are actually having. That's another good reason to be in a coffee shop. Or I might find myself writing about the weather. When I'm doing that, I know I'm in a bit of strife creatively. Or maybe I've got nothing going on that's substantial in my life. I give Collingwood a fair plug if they've won or if they lose, and why they could have won and why they could have lost. All of those things have occupied this 6 odd years of journaling. If I'm overseas, well, it's about the smells, the tastes, whatever's going on. But you know what? Just like anything, just like when you're going for a run, just like when I'm doing a video and I'm in a flow, you get those flows. And when those flows happen, it's magic. And you just write and you write. And what it does is it basically sorts your day. In the irony I've found, and now this is not a journal necessarily, it's not a diary, it's just streams of consciousness. And the irony that I've found is by having the discipline and putting in the time to do your morning pages, it gives me time throughout the course of the day because my mind is so clear and my productivity has absolutely skyrocketed. And in wanting to do this video, I thought I'd jot down some of what I believe are legitimate achievements that's occurred because of these morning pages. Now, as I reflect upon it, am I any more creative? Well, I can tell you now, before I started this exercise, I used to sketch a little. Now I sketch a lot more. Now that may have something to do with my brand new iPad Pro and the Apple Pencil, because that is just a beautiful feel sketching on that piece of technology. But also I've set up an easel upstairs in my home. I don't get there quite as much, but when I do get there, it's like magnificent. Time just floats by. Prior to the morning pages, I used to try to play guitar badly. Now, I still play guitar badly, but I've also taught myself primarily how to play bass guitar. And I play reasonably well bass. I play reasonably regularly. In fact, last year, I actually gigged in a band in a concept called Weekend Warriors, which was fantastic. Just go play, be a kid with a bass guitar. It was such good fun. But COVID's probably put paid to that this particular year. Well, in fact, it has put paid to that this particular year. Since I've started these morning pages, I've taught myself how to radio broadcast. And now, 2.5 years now, I've got a weekly radio show on 91.3 Sport FM. It's called Sunday Sports Cafe. Not bad. Once a month, I volunteer at a community radio station called RTR FM, where I do a Rock and the Roots blues style show once a month. That's pretty cool as well. Podcasting. I now podcast. I've got a podcast called Marketing 24/7. So yes, that's unleashed some creativity. And that's the thing I found when I was doing the morning pages, is I actually dedicate quite a lot of consciousness, unbeknownst to me, to sales, marketing, and helping people in business. And so I've found actually that is my sweet spot. In fact, prior to the morning pages exercise, I had written 3 books. One of them, in fact, called Exercise Danger, a fitness book, has done really, really well. The other 2, not so well. But here I am now producing lots of content. I haven't yet produced a new book, but I'm very, very close on Marketing 24/7, because I've realised that actually is what I'm absolutely passionate about. And that's all through the morning pages. In doing that, I've actually modified my business as well. So I've now produced an app called Peter Gianoli Marketing 24/7 app. And in that app, I've actually produced products, in-app purchases, little $9.99 bite-sizable chunks to help people get control over their business. If you go to my website, you'll see I've produced a whole range of training courses on sales and marketing acumen as well. Now, that's all creativity that's been unleashed with this, what I believe, morning routine. The other thing about this morning routine is, I don't know if it's morning pages or is it think-itation. I like to call it that, think-itation. I've borrowed that term from a guy called Tom Bilyeu. He's he's a businessman from America, a health and fitness business, Quest, I think it's called. But he's also on Instagram, and he's a bit of a philosopher on Instagram. He holds up white cards and he's got sayings, and I actually really dig him. One of the ones he uses is this thing called think-itation, which in his world is meditating on a problem and coming up with a solution. Arguably, that's what I do every morning. The difference is I've got a Moleskine, I've got a Fisher Space Pen, and I am just streams of consciousness. And on occasions, yes, there are problems there, business-wise, not business-wise, client problems, my problems, world problems, and I attempt to solve them. And it's fantastic. It's this creation of consciousness, and it's putting it down daily in a routine. And I think that has stimulated a whole pile of creativity. My business now, certainly the sales and marketing strategy part of my business, has taken off. I now help lots of clients with their particular issues. And of late, I've been doing quite a bit of coaching and business mentoring for select clients that want to go that next step. So, I don't know. I feel as though these morning pages have had some meaningful success. But probably more important than anything, is that as a consequence of these morning pages, that is, I decided to get involved in a charity. Charity is the Centre for Asylum Seekers, Refugees and Detainees. I'm now chairperson of that charity, and I'm delighted to say that upon taking over as chairperson, it wasn't travelling all that well, but now it is flourishing. Now, not because of me, because of the organisation, but it's because I got to know myself better that I actually felt I wanted to make a contribution. Trust me, 6 years back, prior to starting these morning pages, thinking about others was probably low on my agenda. And you know what? Above everything else, what I like most about these morning pages is the effect it's had on me. Now, I can't tell you that people like me anymore. I can't tell you that I have better relationships, but I can tell you one key thing. I've got a great relationship with myself. I'm now much clearer as to what things are for me, what matter for me. And that's because I take the time every morning to have a deep, meaningful, no agenda conversation with myself. And I just keep filling up moleskin after moleskin after moleskin. Look, I know this isn't really a sales and marketing type video, but I hope you got something out of it. I hope you can understand the impact it's had on me, and I genuinely hope it has an impact on you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a page on my website. I'm going to call it petergianoli.com/thinkitation. THINKITATION. And on that, I'll have links to Julia Cameron and This Artist's Way, links to Tom Bilyeu, links to some of the products I've talked about, links to Vital Green. That's only the beginning, of course, of what I consider my productive morning routine. Now, if you like this video, let me know. And if you like it, I can take you even further into my productivity methods that I've gleaned over the time. I've deliberately not shaved for this video because I want to show you, even though I'm fortunate enough to still have eyebrows of normal colour, hair of normal colour, my beard gives away my age. I'm not the young rooster I used to be. I've actually got some grey hairs. And these grey hairs have taught me a few things. And thanks to my wife, Darlene, who introduced me to Julia Cameron and The Artist's Way, morning pages or thinkitation has made a huge, huge difference. petergianoli.com/thinkitation. Bye for now.